Here's how I make delicious vegan tacos for Taco Tuesday. These are the ingredients I'll be using. We've got some peppers, onions, beans, soyrizo, and corn. But first we're gonna make a little seasoning for the tacos. So first we'll add some salt and a little bit of cumin, but don't make a mess. Next we'll add some cayenne pepper for heat, but don't add too much. And some dried cilantro leaves, but that's optional. We're also gonna add some dried jalapeno peppers. And also my favorite ingredient, which is this smoked paprika. It makes it extra smoky. So once you have that all ready, just give it a good mix and make sure it's well combined. Now we're gonna add some olive oil to a pan and let it get hot. Now we'll add in our onions. Onions take the longest to cook, so make sure you put them in first. You want to get a lot of color on these onions because there's nothing worse than undercooked onions, so make sure you cook them very well. Once they have a good amount of color, we'll go ahead and move them to a bowl because next we're going to add in our peppers. So now we'll drop the peppers into the pan. And you may need to add a little bit more oil to make sure that they don't burn. After a few minutes, we'll add in our corn. We've got to make sure our corn is nice and hot. So once that gets some heat on it, we're gonna add in our beans. So put in your beans and just give it a good mix. Make sure it's all incorporated. Next, we'll add in the onions that we cooked before. And we're gonna go ahead and mix this all together. But don't make a mess. Now I'll add in the seasoning that we made in the beginning, and this is gonna give it great flavor. Now in a clean pan, we'll add some oil and wait for it to get hot enough, because now we're gonna go ahead and add that chorizo in there. You want to make sure to break it up and that it's not stuck together so that it can cook evenly in the pan. So just kind of mash it around and make sure that it's well distributed across the pan. Once you get it well cooked and it has some color on it, then we're going to go ahead and add back in those veggies that we cooked before. So just drop them right into the pan. And now we're just gonna mix everything together. You want all the flavors of the soyrizo and the veggies to mix well so that when we put it in the tacos, you'll get bites of everything. Now you could just use the shells out of the box, but if you really want them to taste better, I recommend putting them in the oven face down at 350 degrees for about 5 minutes. They will taste so crispy. And if you really want to kick this up a notch, you should add some acid, so we're just gonna squeeze some lime juice over the top. And here's what I call a lazy guacamole. I'm just gonna mash up some avocados with some more lime juice and get them into a sort of like chunky guacamole type situation. Now it's time to spoon in that delicious goodness into our taco shells. So just try to fit in as much as you can, but be careful not to break the shells. Now we're gonna add some of that lazy guacamole right on top. And it's just gonna give it a nice color too. To finish it off, I have this Trader Joe's Green Dragon hot sauce. This will give it a nice tanginess. So just put some on top of each taco, and I promise it will be so delicious. And now you have some delicious vegan tacos that were super easy to make. They don't take that long. This is a wonderful go-to meal when you want tacos, but you don't want to get them from a restaurant or anything. I highly recommend this recipe.